If you've made it here, I'm sure that you've experienced the horror. Slides like this, 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 this. Overcrowded slides, presenters that bore you to death, and thousands of templates that look the same. Death by PowerPoint is very much real, and in this session I would like to go some of the most common mistakes that we make with PowerPoint and how to avoid those and make PowerPoint more engaging for your audience. The first mistake that people make is that they tend to put every single word they're going to say on their PowerPoint slides. Although this eliminates the need to memorize your talk, ultimately this makes your slides crowded, wordy, and boring. You will lose your audience's attention before you even reach the bottom of your first slide. Let's not do that, guys. As you can see, I lost you probably first 3 lines into this slide because there's too much talking, too much reading going on, and you're trying to focus on the slide itself and you're trying to listen to me. So let's not do that at all. The next thing is that font size. That is very important. Size matters, guys. Too small, that's not good for anybody. Too big, and you look like a moron. So let's make sure that the size is done properly and the audience can actually visually see what's going on, and it's not too small or not too big. The next thing is you want to have your fonts to stay in one place. You don't want them moving around. You don't want them shaking, blinking, spinning, right? You got students with ADHD. They're going to be going crazy trying to find where's the text going. So let's try to keep things stable for them and in one place. Something which we want to avoid. The next thing is that we want to avoid is excessive bullet pointing. Only bullet key points. Too many bullet points and your message will not stand out. In fact, the term bullet point comes from people firing guns at annoying presenters. So let's avoid that and make sure that we have a certain minimal number of bullet points on our slide, which we'll talk about what is the key amount. I know you've heard of the 7x7 rule, the 5x5 rule, right? So we're going to talk about how many points or how much text as we go along in the presentation. Now, again, I just want to give credit to Don McMillan. So he's a corporate comedian, and he's got an excellent video. Actually, the jokes and some of the slides that was there prior to that you saw were taken from here. So I just wanted to give credit to Don. You should definitely watch his video if you haven't seen it. It's hilarious and it's very useful. It's very helpful to avoid some of the very key mistakes that we make when we create PowerPoints. The other video that I do want to give credit to is a TED Talk, and I'm pretty sure probably you have seen this, the holy grail of PowerPoint TED Talks or PowerPoints, presentations on how to do PowerPoints well, and that is by David Phillips. It's how to avoid death by PowerPoint, and I've taken some content from there as well. If you've already seen the video, this is going to be more of a review for you and a reminder for you. If you haven't, I suggest you to definitely, after my talk, go and watch this video because it is just excellent. Now, this is one of the slides in David's TED Talk, and just by looking at it, I want you to take a look and see what are some of the things that you notice that are wrong with this slide. Yes, so I'm sure what you're thinking is that yes, there's a lot of content here. There's too much content, a lot of text, and one of the key things that comes out is that there is just 2 main points on the slide, right? What you want to avoid is having too many different ideas on one single slide. Stick to one concept per slide. Right? That is David's first point that he makes in his TED Talk, right? So what we'll do here is we'll remove one of the points and we'll stick to one single concept on one slide. Now again, here you can still see that there's still something wrong here, right? Yes, lots of text. It's too much text. I mean, there's this whole paragraph here, right? So this is something which we definitely want to avoid. Otherwise, the audience's attention will not be on you and what you're saying, and it will just be distracted by all that text and they won't understand anything. So here is what what is ideally what we want to have, right? So a nice visual, right? So a nice visual there to aid you while you're presenting and while you're talking, and so the attention is on you. You are the presentation, and the PowerPoint is a visual aid. And you've got some key points there to reinforce your message, but you're not putting your entire message there like some people do that, and they're pretty much using PowerPoint as a scripting tool, which they can just as a cue card, which they're just reading off of it. Let's not do that, guys. Definitely, let's use PowerPoint as a visual aid that it's meant to be, and put some nice big images on there. A few not even sentences. Please avoid that. Just try to put key terms there, just to reinforce your message. Now, Dave talks about his projects where we've got these slides here, these legacy slides, the ones on the left. So what we want to do ideally is take those and convert them into slides that look like the ones on the right. Now you're gonna say, yeah, but that's gonna create a lot of slides. I'm gonna have I already have like 60 slides. I'm gonna end up having 100 slides or 120 slides. But guys, the problem is not the amount of slides that you have. The issue is the content per slide. So you can literally have like 10 slides. You can shrink 50 slides into 10, but those slides are going to be useless. I mean, no one's going to be understanding what's going on in those slides. So the idea here is to even if you have lots of slides, but as long as those slides are helping you while you're delivering your presentation, and that's what should matter at that point, is that you're getting your point across well, and your audience is actually understanding what you're saying, and they're able to remember and retain that information with the help of your slides and visual aids. So while I was researching for this presentation, I actually wanted to consult with other online instructors, designers, instructional designers, other instructors that do distance ed and teach a lot, lots of courses online. So I went to a few of my favorite Facebook groups online, and I posed a question on how do you make the how do you use PowerPoint? How do you make it engaging? And I started to get lots of interesting responses, which I wanted to share with you today. So the first one of the responses that I got was that you you uninstall it from your computer. So again, this is just a joke, guys. I mean, it did get lots of laughs, right? So and in the replies, lots of other instructors were like, no, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. PowerPoint is the best. So there are lots of supporters of PowerPoint. It is an old software, but it has come a long way. It's gotten lots of updates, and it's still one of the leading presenting softwares out there. So definitely, this was just as a joke for the first slide that this was the one with the most likes. So I just wanted to throw it out there. So here we've got Eric Moore. He recommends flipping the class. I'm sure you've heard of flipped classrooms, and that's what Eric comes up with. You flip the classroom. You have the content recorded, so the students watch that in their own time, and when they're physically with you, you make that a interactive time with them, with questions, discussions, and lots of engagement, right? Sorry, I couldn't find a better icon for engagement. So use class time for actual engagement. The other one I got was, it was a little bit confusing for me, but it's something to do with hyperlink functions and creating a interactive learning experience. I couldn't really exactly figure that out, but when I do, I'll hopefully post an update. And if you figure it out, let me know. So we've got Damian Wilson here, who suggested lots of polling software. So Turning Point and Mentimeter are paid polling online softwares, online solutions for polling, and they cost a lot of, I mean, not a lot of money, but they do cost money. And if you're not into spending lots of dough on polling software, which lots of people don't have the money, extra money hanging around for spending on all kinds of software, which I totally understand. And just use the free options, right? Embed questions into your PowerPoint. Add a few questions to make it more engaging. And also there are you can add just polls using free options, such as Zoom has their own internal polling, which is not the best. And there are a couple of other, there's one that I know of. It's called Poll Everywhere. You can try that out. It's a really good. But you can just ask questions inside of PowerPoint. That's a really good and basically free way to use polling. Val, let's see what Val says. She got 4 likes, lots of love here. So she said PowerPoint comes alive with the instructor. So again, she says that, try to engage it. Think of it as a live class, right? Use polls again. Lots of polls advice here. Use the text chat feature, which we have. I'm sure you've used that in Zoom. So again, you're probably wondering why we're mentioning Zoom and that kind of thing. So basically what we're doing here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to, what these instructors have advised is that how they're using PowerPoint to teach online. So you're using an online software such as Zoom, Adobe Connect, WebEx, Google Classroom, whatever it is. All of those have these features usually like text chats and hand raising. So it basically Val is saying just utilize those, right, and make sure that you're using the full functionality of those online platforms to do your online teaching. And keep your slides clean, guys. That we talked about. Ruth says, annotate, guys. This is very powerful. The annotation tools that we have in Zoom at our college is very powerful, and I would, lots of people have used them, and I've seen them use them very well. Some people actually don't know they exist, so if I'm pretty sure there will be lots of instructors who haven't tried them, haven't seen that option for annotate within Zoom. It is a huge, powerful option, guys. I would definitely recommend you to use that. You can have tables on your slide. You can have check marks, gap fill exercises, matching, whatever it is, circling something. Just to get the audience out of their chairs and just into the presentation, right? To engage with you. So make them do stuff, right? Make them circle things, draw things, whatever it is. As long as they're doing, that's going to keep them engaged. That's going to keep them working and their brains functioning, well, and to be able to retain that content. So what I did here is I came up with a with a slide for activity for you guys. It came up in the Daily Mail, and somebody actually found the differences in 58 seconds. So let's see if we can beat that record. So if you're watching this on the video, then you're probably not going to be able to do that. But again, you can just try to see if you find the differences there in the slide. Try to see if you can find any differences, and you can pause the video and check that out. Moving on, so here's an interactive a session for you guys. I tried to make it a little bit interactive in the sense that we've got some certain slides here that are not the best. So what I want you to do is just take, you can go to this link and tell me what's wrong with these slides. How would you make them better? And try to make them better, and then upload them, and let's take a look, and we can share feedback with each other on how we can improve our slides and make better, more engaging presentations. Alright, thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at moaz.mohammed@cna-qatar.edu.qa. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope my presentation was helpful, and I hope to see you for the next session. Take care. Have a good one.